the football Postcast in association with Paddy Power. Their new iPhone app is simpler than a Tim Sherwood team talk, so download it now.
Hello there, welcome along to the Racing Post Weekend Football Postcast. I'm Bruce Millington and I'm joined by James Milton and Mark Langdon, two fine judges of football and a third fine judge, but mainly his profession is football odds compiler for Paddy Power. It's Sean O'Sullivan. There is yet more weekend football. I mean, it's getting to the stage now where we're thankful when they allow us to jam in a week of domestic stuff, it seems. But it's the last one for a while, so that's good. And it's also easily the most interesting. England v Scotland, a host of other quite competitive stuff. So we'll be going through the live games, picking out the best bets, and also our weekend nats. But first of all, it's the weekly 6 quickfire questions, 2 each, and then they get to answer the one they wish they had been answered. Blimey, that music's going. It's normally died out by now, but I think we're going to have to start the questions while the music's still going. No, just got there. Okay. Phew. Right, Mark Langdon first. Who would win a game of FIFA, Gareth Southgate or Gordon Strachan?
I reckon Southgate would win.
Why?
Well, he's a bit younger, isn't he? And I tend to think younger people are better with the newer technology. I reckon Strachan, I can imagine getting quite angry at the very thought that he has to even switch on the computer. Actually, Southgate.
How would you price it up?
I'd say Southgate 1 to 3.
Really?
Yeah.
3's on?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough. Do you play FIFA still, Mark?
No, I used to when I lived with my mates. We used to have regular FIFA sessions, but no, since the wife and kids come along,
Funny
I've
that
ditched
wives
it.
don't like FIFA, do they? It's weird. I've got my head around that. Sean, we'll go with you. Who will win La Liga? And before you answer, you can give us a show if you like, because it's getting quite interesting, that.
Yeah, it's pretty tight up there. I'm kind of all over Atletico for the Champions League, and I think they're probably still a little bit of value for the actual for La Liga as well. I mean, we're 7-1 on them to win. Barca are still favoured today, 2-11. They're going through a sticky patch. Real Madrid 6-4, and then it's 150s. Bardo 3 with Sevilla, who are actually playing pretty well.
Did you watch that game the other night, by the way? Barcelona-Seville?
I did, yeah. I actually thought Sevilla
wasn't it?
It was. They were brilliant. I actually backed Sevilla in that draw, no bet. I mean, I thought they were really, really good for 40 minutes. Just get to half-time, get in, kind of rest the troops a little bit. They come back out. I think it's a different game. Conceding that goal, it just completely...
The 2 goals were ludicrous, weren't they? One, he played some Hollywood crossfield ball, didn't he? And they just walked down the other end and scored. And then the other fella tried to do some sort of ludicrous 360-degree turn with a back heel in his own half.
They were their own worst enemy completely. I mean, they do look like they're building a bit of a team there. Nasri seems to be rejuvenated completely. He wasn't meant to play, and he was obviously fit, and he managed to start. I was pretty impressed by him for the first 35, 40 minutes. They're definitely a team to watch, I think. I mean, unfortunately for them, they won't be in the Europa League this year, but it looks like going for 4 in a row. They'll have to make do with the Champions League knockout stages. But yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Barca, they haven't really impressed me now the last month or so. I think they got lucky in that game too. But Atletico, I think they can, at 7-1, I think represent a small bit of value. I don't know if I'd be backing it, but I think if I'm having one of the 3, I'd probably be on them.
And who will finish highest out of Barca and Real?
Geez, it's going to be so close. Okay. It's not far off a pick 'em for me, to be honest.
Righty-ho. James, you're our League 2 king, aren't you?
If you say so, yeah.
Well, don't be so damn modest. And also, don't be modest about the teams you put up. Remind us who you put up at the start of the season.
I put up Carlisle to win the league. I also put up Cambridge United. The less said about that, the better. But yeah, Carlisle going very nicely.
What price did you back them at?
18-1.
Did you lump on?
Yes, I did, yeah.
And now, Sean O'Sullivan, they're Jollies virtually, aren't they? The Cumbrians? Are they the Cumbrians?
They've been brilliant. They're 11-4 favourites there. Plymouth, they're 11-4 as well. Pompey, popular all year, but I don't know, 3-1 seems a little short to me. Doncaster in there at 5-1, and Luton are 14s. It's 50s, Bardos.
If you're opening a new position, not that you need to, obviously, who would you back now, Jim?
I'd genuinely...
Maybe have a Rod Laver on someone?
I would probably have a saver on Plymouth, who... they had a massive turnover of players after last season, after going close to promotion, but they've started really well, kind of winning tight games nicely, grinding out results. Doncaster went quite short for the title. They've now got a top scorer, Andy Williams, out for a bit, and Pompey just flattering to deceive again. So, no, I definitely think there's still probably a bit of value in Carlisle. They've got a really deep squad. Keith Curle's working his magic there. I've got a very soft spot for Keith Curle because I did a phone interview with him and he told me that the human body is a wonderful machine. For some reason, those words have always stuck in my mind.
Keith Curle would have come out with something like that.
Yeah, no, he's very, very interesting guy to chat to.
How did you respond?
I think I kind of looked down at my own puny frame and sighed, really. Yeah.
The Carlisle fans have got something mysterious curl. They
right,
yeah,
to the Peter Andre.
Yeah,
hit,
there's something about playing 3-5-2 or something. I don't know. It's quite good.
Oh, that's good. I'm actually up in the Lake District soon. I'm hoping that Carlisle are at home that weekend, but we'll see.
Our Scottish football writer Mark Walker just goes down there for fun sometimes, just to watch Carlisle.
Well, I hope not on match day, because I'm hoping he's at Queen of the South.
No,
Wraith
you know,
Rovers.
when the Scot, like a Tuesday night and stuff like that. Yeah, he just quite often just pops down to watch Carlisle. Yeah, and he's been quite impressed with them.
He does live in Kendal, though. It's not that far, is it? And how much would Carlisle win you, James? Talk in terms of, say, a product that you could buy.
Okay. 2,000 bags of Haribo.
Oh, wow. Excellent. That's good. What flavour would you opt for?
A mix of Star Mix and Sour Mix.
Brilliant. That's what money does.
Covers all bases.
Certainly does. Mark Langdon, simple. Who should be England manager? Well, let's start, first of all, should Gareth Southgate be England manager?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he deserved it in the first place. I think Sam Allardyce should be the England manager, really. But are you after a realistic candidate, or can I say Big Sam?
I suppose Big Sam. Yeah. All right. Put it this way. Let's say Scotland whoop England tomorrow night, and they say, look, sorry, Southgate, we're not having him. Who would you go for then?
I would wait until the end of the season, and I would see if Arsene Wenger wanted it, and that goes against mainly what I've been saying, that I wish it was an Englishman, and I think it should be an Englishman, but I've almost got Wenger down as an honorary one anyway, given how long he's been in the Premier League, and I do feel that if Arsenal are unsuccessful this season, that it may be the end of the road for Wenger there, and I think that would be the perfect job for him, really. Arsene Wenger.
Do you think Eddie Howe would be? My view is that Eddie Howe would be the best, but I just don't want to see him sort of mash his career up by taking the England job.
I think it's way too soon as well. Not necessarily.
It should be for an old person.
It is an older person's job, I feel, and I'd like to see Eddie Howe. Once Bournemouth's finished, just go on to another Premier League team,
Arsenal.
A bigger one.
Arsenal manager, shouldn't he? Would you have him at Arsenal, James?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you think he's that good?
Well, no, I do. I think he's quite good. I just think that if you're Arsenal and you're going into battle against Guardiola, Klopp, I think you need somebody of that ilk, already. I'm not sure who there is around. Simeone, someone like that.
Fair enough. Sean, how many extra Twitter follows did you get last week after tweeting that Dan Gosling was good value for the first goal against Bournemouth? Because it was an absolutely superb shout, and you must have got a ton of new followers there, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely flying. I usually get retweeted by a couple of the lads in the office, because they usually, you get that prompt that says you have this many new and this many guys unfollowed you. It's generally always kind of vice versa. It's like 1 follower and 8 people unfollowed you. It's just fantastic. So now nobody's retweeting anything, because I got up to the mass amount, I think, of 22 new followers. I even got tweeted by some random people, which was fantastic. But it's been great. I think I have an extra 20 to 25, but it makes a pleasant change anyway from the usual.
Well, I was going to actually say, do you ever regret activating that button where it reveals how many people followed you and how many unfollowed? Because of all the people I follow, you're the only one who does that. I
don't know where it came from, though. I have no idea. I obviously followed some spam or was on some dodgy website. I'm looking left, right and centre to get rid of it, and I just can't, so I just accepted it now.
I think you need to get rid, mate, honestly. The thing is, your Twitter star is in the ascendancy, so I suppose, but imagine get to the point where it says 8 people followed me and 38 people unfollowed you.
I need a campaign manager. I need someone in to kind of settle it all down.
Well, you'll have a blue tick the rate you're going. We got offered blue ticks, didn't we, Mark?
You did,
We turned them down, didn't we?
I took mine.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I took
you got
one.
a blue tick?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
What are the benefits?
I'm still trying to work that one out. Actually, I don't think there are any. You do pick up more followers who because I think they're sort of pushed your way.
Right. More Russian girls who just want to be your friend and things like that. Yeah?
No, it's not. You get these sort of weird Americans that are got 20,000 followers and 30,000, but just into music.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand what you get out of it.
Well, no one is going to follow you for music, are they?
No, they're definitely not. I did see the Supersonic documentary film by Oasis the other day, which was absolutely fantastic. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, best thing I've seen in ages.
Really? Yeah. Excellent. Okay, final question. James, what is your... it could be something you've already answered. What's your favourite anti-post bet that you've had this season? I mean, Carlisle's decent. Obviously, you've got one to top that.
Probably not, although I did have a decent chunk on Newcastle. It's not the most original, but they're going along very nicely.
Well, aren't they?
You know, probably Brighton, the only dangers now. Norwich seem to have combusted a little bit.
What price did you get Newcastle?
Shade under 2 to 1.
And how many bags of Haribo would that be?
Fewer than Carlisle.
Right, okay, cool. Righty-ho, Mark, which one would you like to take there?
I'd take the League Two title because I'm on Plymouth and I still fancy Plymouth, I have to say. I mean, they look to me to be a bit like Northampton of last year, this team that doesn't do particularly well on the stats but just keeps winning every week. And I think that they're being slightly underrated because of the prices they go off on a Saturday, and I invariably end up backing them on the Saturday. And they just keep on winning. Very strong defensively. They're confident. They've got a much better squad than last year, which I think caught them out in the end. And I think that Portsmouth and Donny are making the book a little bit for the other two. And Donny have got a lot of injuries, and Portsmouth just seems to be the same as the last couple of years.
So Plymouth for Mark. Okay, Sean, which question would you like to answer?
I'll take the anti-post bet. Most of them have been absolutely shocking, to be honest.
I bet they haven't. I bet you've got some absolute gems.
They really have. But I mean, the one I'm kind of happy with, I only did about 3 weeks ago, so it's still classed, I suppose, as anti-post. But Brighton were available widely at 6 to 1, 7 to 1, with still 3 paces available in that league. I mean, the one thing about it was it's a 3-horse league, and I mean, at the moment it could be 2. I mean, the way Norwich are dropping, they're like an absolute stone. So, look, I think Newcastle, I mean, they're justifiable 3s on favourites, but if any team can challenge them, it's Brighton, and I'm getting 6 to 4 now. They finish in the top 3, which I think is probably.
Why are they so much better this season?
Who, Newcastle or Brighton?
Brighton.
I think Brighton were very good last year as well. Their home form was absolutely brilliant under Chris Hughton. They tailed a little bit towards the end, kind of gathered a bit of momentum. Then at the very end again, I think overall over the last 3 years they've been fairly consistent. I mean, the investment they have in the club potentially there through Bloom is obviously, I mean, it's insane. If he wants to come in January and invest, 20 million, he can do that. He's got the collateral to do it. I think that's what puts Brighton ahead of a lot of other teams.
He's got that much money.
He's
God,
unbelievable.
He's bloody good at
Star
poker.
Lizard,
He's making all that money.
He owns Asia. It's
I think
incredible.
Murray's made a difference up front. I mean, you've seen he banged in a hat trick, didn't he, the other week? So I think that's probably that was the one area I felt they were slightly lacking.
Fair enough. Okie dokes. We don't want those bastards winning it, so hopefully you'll lose on that. No, actually, I don't mind you finishing 3rd and getting the place money, and then they lose the playoffs.
Perfect. Winners all around.
Exactly. James, what would you like to answer?
I'll go back to the FIFA Southgate versus Strachan. I think Mark's spot on with his analysis.
And
so
the
often.
price.
I think so. Yeah. For some reason, I've just got this image of Gordon Strachan kind of kneeling in front of a VHS player with a fork, just trying to get something that shouldn't be in there out. I don't have him down as a gamer.
But do you have Southgate down as well? I'm not sure what Southgate would do, actually. It's funny, someone said to me on Twitter the other day, they said, if Southgate worked in your office, what job would he be? And I said he'd be in some sort of IT ops role, kind of liaising with the fella, the janitor and all that. He'd be a kind of fella who makes it all happen.
You wouldn't quite know what he did, but he'd be in important meetings.
Yeah.
All right. He's
and also,
well turned out.
He'd make a slightly too much effort at the Christmas party, Sean, would you price up that Southgate v Strachan match like the lads have? 3s on?
I have 4s on Southgate, 5 to 2 Strachan. I'd be an even bigger underdog. I'm actually shocking at that game anyways.
What about total goals, over under?
Over 5.5.
Over 5.5?
Pick 'em.
No, I think if you're bad at it, you can't score, but you can defend a bit better. I'd be back in the unders there, I think.
Okie doke. Excellent. Right, we'll be back in a mo looking at the highlight of the weekend, England v Scotland.
Check out Paddy Power's latest football offer. For all England and Republic of Ireland matches this week, get a free bet if your team is leading at 60 minutes but fails to win the game. Max £20, not available in shops. T&C supply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.co.uk.
Welcome back. Bruce Millington, James Milton, Mark Langdon and from Paddy Power, Sean O'Sullivan are getting stuck into the weekend international highlights. We've got 3 real high-profile live games, starting obviously Friday night, England versus Scotland, 7:45. The atmosphere will be absolutely electric as the 2 old rivals, the oldest rivals in international football, do battle. It's going to be very, very interesting for once. And how do you bet on the win-draw-win, Sean O'Sullivan?
We're short here in England, Bruce, and we're 1 to 3. The draw is 7 to 2 in Scotland. Yeah, they're big outsiders here. They're 8 to 1.
We'll start with you then, Sean. What do you think will happen?
Yeah, geez, like I know it's exciting. I mean, if you're from across the pond where I am, but I mean, for me, I'm just looking at the game. It doesn't really, set my pulse racing. I mean, I'm looking at it thinking probably low scoring. I think Scotland are poor. I mean, Strachan's probably going to get the boot. I think in the next game or two, if results don't improve markedly, he probably needs a result here, or at least a performance. I'm just looking at their goals recently. I mean, they've drawn a blank in 3 of their last 5 international matches. Winning about England, and it was the same way under Roy. I mean, they are pretty good defensively when they play these kind of weaker teams, and Scotland are a weaker team. They haven't conceded in their 3 qualifiers to date, so I'm probably looking at. I think the Southgate era will be defined as well by a good defensive setup. So I think probably them to win 2-0, possibly at evens, is if I'm having a bet, I think I'll probably side with that.
Will you have a bet?
I think I will back that. I mean, the more I looked into it initially, I was thinking I wasn't getting too excited, but I mean, I think there is a bit of value there. I just don't see Scotland. They don't have much going forward. I mean, they have a couple of good young lads there, but to get past that England rear guard, I think it'd be asked a bit much, especially with the atmosphere at Wembley. They'll surely be just really, really up for England. So, I mean, yeah, I think they'll get it done. I think Southgate will happily take a 1-0 win.
Do you think you'll watch it, Sean?
Friday night.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. You're probably too young still, aren't you? You'll be out.
If I'm drinking, I'm watching it. But then again, I'd watch Tiddlywinks if I'm out drinking and there's sport on. So I mean, yeah, I probably will watch it.
You'll watch it. Okay, fine. James, will you watch it?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah.
Excellent. And will you bet on it?
I'm possibly at small stakes. I think, as Sean says, it is a tricky match to call. But I'm actually a bit more confident in Scotland's attack. I think both teams to score at odds against is not a bad price. I just feel, England's matches so far have been in qualifying have been tight and cagey, and they've been playing teams who've kind of sat back and frustrated them. But I feel this one could be a bit more sort of frenetic Premier League style.
What speed do you reckon it'll be played at? 90?
A million miles
no,
an hour.
Right, could be, couldn't it?
Yeah. Premier League, even Championship style, depending on what sort of team Scotland put out. But yeah, Scotland's Euro qualifying games, both teams have scored copped in all 4 of their games against Germany and Poland. So yeah, I think they have got some exciting kind of young attacking midfielders. But it's a tentative shout, but odds against both teams to score.
Okie dokie. Mark, are you doing it for the paper?
I am, yeah. I haven't.
Have you made your mind up yet?
No, I'm going towards low goals, I think. So whether that be time of the first goal after the mark, once that comes out, sort of draw England, half-time, full-time, double result. But maybe even under 2.5 goals, or 1-0 England, 2-0 England, something. I mean, under 2.5 could be the way to go. England have kept 7 straight clean sheets in qualifying. 5 of their last 6 qualifiers have been under 2.5 goals as well. I'm just worried about, from an England point of view, where the goals will come from in terms of them swatting Scotland aside, if you like, because Harry Kane's just come back from injury. Sturridge doesn't play for Liverpool. Vardy can't score.
Kane will be all right, won't he? Played 70 minutes in the North London derby. He scored.
Well, he scored a penalty. I mean, he was nowhere near 100% fitness. I mean, I don't think he would have scored from open play.
He had that glancing header early on, didn't he, which almost went in?
Yeah,
and that's against Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was against Mustafi. I mean, Mustafi's probably about as good as some of the Scotland defenders.
Is he rubbish?
He had a shocker in the North London derby. But I mean, if Kane does play, he's not 100% fitness. I don't care what anyone says, and he hasn't scored that many goals even when he was fit this season. Obviously Sturridge, like I said, not playing. Vardy's not scoring. So I think if England are to win, they may have to grind it out. I'm not expecting it to be a great game.
Charlie Austin should have been in that squad. He's scoring goals. I mean, I did a piece in the paper today. I think it's a poxy squad. I really do. Unimaginable.
I do think from Scotland's point of view that the players are almost down tools for Strachan. I mean, that performance last time out, away to Slovakia was just horrendous. And
yeah, but Mark, this is Wembley.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, there's like 13,000 Scots that have got official tickets. So I mean, Wembley is going to be sort of full of Tartan Army.
Some atmosphere, that.
Yeah, it will. So I mean, that may inspire the players more than what Strachan can, and I hope so from sort of point of view of them giving England a decent test.
What price are unders, Sean?
Yeah, the unders are odds on 4-5. 1-0 England's 9-2, 2-0's 5-1. And both teams to score is odds against at 6-5.
And what are your total arrests?
Over 14.5, I think.
Over 14.5? I think I'd be a buyer there, I'm afraid. I hope not. I hope everyone gets on brilliantly, but I think that's a little bit low. Okay, kicking off simultaneously in Group C, Northern Ireland versus Azerbaijan. Do you remember that time when we backed Wales at a massive price mark to win their
Yeah,
qualifying group. They lost
messed
to
up.
Azerbaijan, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like 50s to win that qualifying
Oh.
group. Did the hard work against Italy and then messed it up against Azerbaijan.
Can't think of Azerbaijan without that painful memory coming back. So, presumably, the Northern Irish are fairly decent jollies here, Sean?
Yeah, they are. I think they win as well. I mean, they're 4-7 to win the match. Looks a tad generous to me. The draw is 5-2. Azerbaijan are 11-2.
Tell us why you fancy Northern Ireland.
Look, I mean, they're very, very good at home, Northern Ireland. I mean, they've won, lost in their last 11, international matches. I mean, that was with Germany, and they conceded the one goal. Not many teams can say that against the Germans. Azerbaijan, they've one win in their last 21 international games. I mean, they're a poor outfit. I think Northern Ireland are constantly underrated at Windsor Park at home. I mean, generally they're pretty decent there, and I think they get the job done. Look, I don't think they're never going to set the world alight, Northern Ireland. I mean, it's similar enough to my mindset with the England-Scotland game. I think they'll win, possibly 1 or 2-0 to win 2-0's odds again, 6-5. I think that's a really, really good shout. If I'm looking at an angle in terms of the goal scorers, I mean, maybe Steve Davis there. I mean, he's actually playing very well for Southampton. He had 5 Premier League goals there last year, and crucially, he takes penalties for Northern Ireland. He's 9-1 to score first. I mean, the chance of them getting a penalty, I think it's likely in a game like this. I mean, with a team like Azerbaijan who are just poor defensively. So I think Northern Ireland will get the job done, 1 or 2-0, and I like Davis to get the first goal.
Interesting. See what I did there. James, your beautifully written notes. They're the most gorgeously written notes I've ever seen. What do they tell you about your mindset on the Northern Ireland Azerbaijan game?
Yeah, I think as you'd expect, I think a low scoring game maybe. I like the look of 0-0 at half time actually. 6 of Northern Ireland's last 7 international goals have come in the second half. I think they will take a bit of time to break down Azerbaijan, but as Sean mentioned, Northern Ireland win 2-0 as well is probably a decent bet as well.
Righty-ho, Mark, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, I wouldn't be back in Northern Ireland in this game, I have to say. I think Azerbaijan are improving. You have a look at their teams doing well in the Europa League. Robert Prosinecki is the manager there.
Is
now.
he?
Yeah. Prosinecki's the manager.
My absolute idol. He didn't play at 100 miles an hour, did he? He played at 10 miles an hour and still got it done.
He did. I
love Prosinecki.
I'm just looking at their results in this qualifying campaign. They beat San Marino. It was only 1-0 away from home, but they beat Norway 1-0 and drew 0-0 away with the Czechs. I think that it could be a frustrating time for Northern Ireland. If they quite like that angle that James mentioned, if they get it done, it's maybe sort of in the second half. But if I was having a bet in this game, it wouldn't be Northern Ireland. I'd be sort of edging towards maybe Azerbaijan plus a goal on the handicap.
Okay. So from what the lads have said there, what prices can you layer on top of them, Sean?
Yeah, the 0-0 half-time draw is 5-4. I mean, if you want to mix kind of the notion that it will be 0-0 half-time, Northern Ireland scrape it. I mean, 0-0 half-time, 1-0 full-time is a 13-2 shot. I mean, if you're going down the route then of possibly backing Azerbaijan plus a goal, that's odds against. It's 5-4.
You do correct score double results now, do you?
Yeah, we do. I didn't even know we did it. It's fascinating stuff. It's great.
What will they think of next, eh?
Absolutely.
Blimey, O'Reilly. Okay, right, we're done with that. We'll look at Saturday's games in just a mo.
Check out Paddy Power's latest football offer. For all England and Republic of Ireland matches this week, get a free bet if your team is leading at 60 minutes but fails to win the game. Max £20, not available in shops. T&Cs apply. 18+, gambleaware.co.uk.
Hello. Bruce Millington, James Milton, Mark Langdon, and from Paddy Power, Sean O'Sullivan. We're looking ahead to Saturday's live World Cup qualifiers that involve British Isles clubs. And the first of them is Group D at 5 o'clock in Austria. Presumably it's in the... is it the Arnold? No, it's not the Arnold Schwarzenegger Stadium, is it, in Vienna?
The
Ernst Happel.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. I'm always getting those two mixed up. Right, Austria v Republic of Ireland. The boys in green, Sean. Are you keeping the faith here?
I'd be worried, Bruce. I think Twitter's about to explode there. Ireland as a British Isles club is going to...
it is a British Isles club.
You're losing followers by the second.
It is. The British Isles is the geographical name for the islands that involve Britain and Ireland. Okay? They're not
I can't even go against you on that.
They're not a British club, but Ireland is part of the British Isles, okay?
I'm going to take your word for it completely.
Well, I'll Google it afterwards and we'll be cutting this out if I'm wrong. I'm almost sure I'm right. Right. Jesus Christ, I better be. Anyway, who's going to win the bloody game?
Austria are 10-11, wouldn't be touching it. The draw 23-10, and Ireland, who just keep grinding it out without playing well, they're 11-4.
Keep talking because I'm Googling. What's going to happen?
Yeah, I look. I mean, look. Initially, I looked at this. I mean, every time Ireland, I look at it and I kind of think, oh, they're just not playing great. They'll struggle to get a result, but they inevitably do. And Austria aren't playing good at all at the moment. I mean, they had a really poor Euros. I mean, their home form's pretty dire. They've conceded twice in 4 of their last 5 games at home. They've only won one of them. I mean, I think that was against Malta. Ireland, look, as I say, they're not playing too fantastic. I mean, they have a few slight injury concerns. Austria do too, though. But I think they'll go there. I think they'll score. They tend to be scoring away from home. They got 2 in Serbia. So I look down the route of maybe both teams to score 10 to 11. And hopefully Ireland can get a result and kind of continue on the trend of not playing well, but really holding themselves in a decent position within the group.
I didn't get a word of that. I was too busy Googling. The British Isles are a group of islands off the northwest coast of continental Europe that consist of the islands of Great Britain, Ireland, and over 6,000 smaller islands. Thank God for that. Who's going to win, James?
Not Austria, I think. Yeah, I'm with Sean on this one. I think Ireland or draw double chance. Yeah, mainly down to the fact that Austria just don't keep clean sheets. You know, 11 of their last 14 have been over 2.5 goals. Another couple have been 2-0 defeats, and they're defensively really, really poor, as we saw in the Euros in that group that them and Portugal.
They went in as one of the pseudo-Shrewdy's choices, didn't they?
Should be said. I mean, Portugal won it, and Iceland reached the quarterfinals. It wasn't. It was meant to be the weakest group
of death in the end, wasn't it?
The team who finished third won the tournament. Didn't they? But yeah, Ireland scored 2 in Serbia, as Sean mentioned, 3 goals in Moldova. So I'm quite keen on them avoiding defeat and maybe a little tickle on the 2-2 draw as well. Plenty of goals, plenty of fun in this one.
Jolly good. We like the sound of that. Mark, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, I mean, I like both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. I might split my stakes and do both in this one. Austria 1 clean sheet in 11. Alma, the goalkeeper's injured. Fuchs from Leicester's retired. Dragovic went to Leverkusen, had an absolute nightmare, can't get in the team. Wimmer, the other centre-back, or he can play anywhere across that defensive line. Only played 1 Premier League game for Tottenham this season. They've got a lot of quality going forward, though. They've scored at least twice in all 3 qualifiers. That includes the 3-2 defeat to Serbia. And this amazed me when I was looking back. Ireland have scored in 18 of their last 19 matches. I mean, that just doesn't... you just don't strike you as that kind of...
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just not that kind of team.
No.
Yeah, the one exception was when they played horrendously against Belgium in the Euros. But even in the Euros, scored away to France, scored against Italy. So both teams to score for me.
Great. Saturday afternoon, the racing will have finished at Cheltenham. We can get stuck into a nice goal fest there. That'll be brilliant. Following on from Austria v the Republic of Ireland is Wales versus Serbia. Group D at 7:45. Sean O'Sullivan, how does your company bet on this one?
Yeah, Wales odds against here at home, they're 6-5. The draw 23-10, that's been popular, and Serbia are priced the same actually, they're 23-10 also.
Okay, and we'll stick with you, Sean, for a selection.
Yeah, I mean, I like goals. I mean, I think like Wales have only failed to score in 1 of their last 9 internationals. I mean, Serbia are kind of they're really, really improved since this qualifying campaign, since they were effectively chucked out kind of in the last and to get into the World Cup. They've really kind of they've gathered together and they're playing much better football. I mean, they absolutely beat Ireland off the pitch in Serbia the last time. I mean, how Ireland got out there with 2-2 draw was amazing. They went away then and beat Austria. They made slightly hard work at that 3-2, but it's a tendency of their games right now. They're poor enough at the back, but they're pretty good going forward. I mean, they're being pretty much led there by Tadic. He's their kind of main man at the moment, and he's playing phenomenal football. So, I mean, yeah, I think there'll be goals. I actually really like Tadic as well. He's scored in all 3 of their qualifiers today. He's 9-1 first goal.
I was going to say, it's about time the first goal scorer Maestro started coughing up some tips.
That's the one I think, though. I think it is here. I mean, he'd actually constantly be valuing the Southampton team if it wasn't for Charlie Austin. I mean, our main man there, if he wasn't playing. But stick him in the Serbia team, he comes out with a decent bit of value. He's 9-1 first goal. I presume he's on penalties. I'm really certain he would be. So, yeah, I think 9-1 first goal, scored in every qualifier to date. I think that's a really decent shout.
Lovely stuff. James?
I'd like Serbia in this one as well. And as Sean mentioned, they don't keep many clean sheets. But I think the Serbia win and both teams to score could be a bit of value here. Wales have got Aaron Ramsey back fit for this game. Bale, obviously. So they're strong going forward, but they've got defensive injuries. Drew 1-1 with Georgia in their last home qualifier. So I think they could be vulnerable favourites in this one.
Righty-ho. And Mark?
Yeah, I was looking at Serbia draw no bet in this game. I think Serbia underperformed massively in the Euro qualifying campaign, not helped by, as Sean alluded to there, the fact that they were stripped of points in the game against Albania, which effectively just ruined their entire campaign. But they've definitely got good players. Ivanovic, Kolarov, Nastasic, Maksimovic, who went to Napoli for a lot of money, Matic in front of the back four, Tadic, creating in midfield, Mitrovic, I think is a Premier League player sort of masquerading in the Championship at the moment. And I think this is going to be a really difficult game for Wales, who've just struggled, I think, to recapture the kind of magic. It seems to be a bit of a downer for them after, the brilliance of reaching those Euro semi-finals. And now they're expected to win games, and that's a very different approach that you have to take. And I think they're much better on the counter-attack, and they're not able to play on the counter now because they're getting far more respect.
Blimey, I'm really excited. I am genuinely looking forward to this weekend now, actually, after the boys have given me their wisdom. That is superb. Without giving away your nap, because we'll do the nap of the weekend, any other teams that you'd like to spray up, either international or domestically this weekend, lads? Start with you, Sean O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I like goals in Millwall actually against Bristol Rovers. I mean, yeah, look, I'll keep it simple. I mean, they've both teams to score pretty much in every single game Millwall play, and they're finally starting to improve a bit. That they're coming out on the right end of the scoreline. But yeah, I like goals. I mean, 14 of their last 15 games has been both teams to score. Bristol Rovers are getting amongst it now as well. 3 of their last 4. It's odds on. It's 8-11, but I think it's a decent show.
I watched a YouTube clip in the week. There's a brilliant Twitter feed called Football in the 1970s or something. They just play loads of YouTube clips, and they had Bristol Rovers beating Brighton 8-2. It's absolutely excellent from 1973. James, anything that isn't your nap but that you'd like to mention here?
Yes, there is. Well, Bury have lost their last 6 in League One, and you're always, as a punter, slightly wary of opposing teams who've been on such a horror run. Has to end at some point, but I don't think it'll end at home to Southend this weekend. Southend have had some really decent results away from home. One at Sheffield United when they were 3-0 up in no time. One at MK Dons recently, drawn at Bolton and Bradford, who are both going very well. So I think Southend certainly draw no better, a solid selection there.
Well, we've got our spy who lives just round the corner from the Shrimpers
ground.
Would you endorse that?
I go quite regularly. I would rather back them at bigger prices than at shorter ones. I mean, I went to watch them when they played Shrewsbury the other week, and they didn't have enough creativity to break down a very defensive team, but they're quite solid themselves. Dimitriou, the Cypriot, is away, the right back. And the last time he didn't play because he was away on international duty, Brown just completely changed the whole team around, moved some of his best players to other positions, and they were absolutely tonked at Rochdale. Hopefully he's learned that lesson. Just stick anyone in. It's only right.
Do you pay to get in?
I do pay to get in.
How much?
About 20 quid. 20
Take Frankie?
Quid. Occasionally.
How much is it? $5?
It depends. It was kids for £1 the other week, and I didn't take him shrewdly. But when it was more expensive, we went Gillingham on the opening day. It's a bit cold now for the kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
They're getting a new ground, aren't they?
Are they? They have been for years, and
right.
it's one of
it's a tiny little ground, yet they've got those 2-tiered stands, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I mean, I tend to sit right next to the tee bar, really.
I thought you were going to say the dugout. I thought Phil Brown would call you over and say, I want Langdon near me.
I've spoken to Phil Brown before, but I sit on the other side because it's quicker to get away. Boring the listeners now with the
not at all.
geography.
No, I like it. Mark, have you got anything else to tell us?
Well, yeah, I mean, not often I'll be putting up Georgia at about 8 to 15, 2s on, but I mean, Moldova are one of the worst teams in international football, and have been for a while now. They're just getting worse and worse. And actually, Georgia, I thought they were better than Ireland. They were better than Wales, and they give Austria a really good game as well. So it looks to me two teams that are going in very different directions at the moment. So they could be home bankers there.
Before we get the nap, producer Jack, shout out a score for Austria via your beloved Republic of Ireland. 3-1. 3-1 to who? Ireland. 3-1 to Ireland. That's from Jack. Okay, right. Let's get the naps of the week.
This will not be beaten.
I'll go first, get my one out of the way. Charlton, my spies tell me they're better than their league position. That's not Wilco, by the way, it's someone else. And I think they're live, aren't they? They're on the box.
Yeah, they're against a Swindon team missing some key players
There
as
you
well.
go. So I'm going to go Charlton to win at Swindon. James Milton, who are you going to go for?
I'm going for Notts County at Blackpool in League 2.
Notts County had a cup shock last week, didn't they? They almost got tipped out by someone, didn't they?
Boreham Wood. There was
yeah.
2-0 up.
What's the case for the Pies then?
Well, they've won 5 of their 7 away games this season. Blackpool are quite a decent side. I expect them to be sort of top 10ish by the end of the season, but they've kept no clean sheet in their last 9. And at odds on, I'm quite happy to oppose them with a side who do most of their best work away from home.
Who are Notts County's celebrity fan? They have got one. Racing related.
Oh.
No, I'm Trump's.
Hayley Turner.
Oh.
There goes, massive Notts County fan. Mark, who's your weekend nap?
I'm going to go. Sean mentioned the game earlier on. I'm going to go for Bristol Rovers at Millwall. Millwall have won 5 of their last 6. Seem to be getting better after a really dodgy spell. But Steve Morrison looks like he could be out of the game. Very important player for them. And Bristol Rovers have only lost 3 of their last 15 matches. One of those was in the last minute to Peterborough when they absolutely battered them. Another one was when they went down to 10 men at Sheffield United, and the other one was in the Football League Trophy, so it barely counts. I mean, they've got some real quality in the forward positions, as Sean was alluding to, and I think they're going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season.
And if you walked into your local Paddy Power Emporium, what sort of price would you be hoping
Yeah, I mean,
for
they're just shy of 3-1, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, they're 5-2 to win the game. You've Charlton there at 11-10 as well. That's
Notts
some decent.
County.
And Notts County are actually 3-1. So I mean,
We're going for it this week. What you two? I've gone fairly safe. What about you, Sean? You going safe or are you?
We need a safety, Steve, here. So yeah, I'm Sheffield United at 4-6. I mean, it's pretty simple. Chesterfield haven't scored in their llast 6 matches. I mean, they've lost them all. Sheffield United are the team to beat in League One now. I think they haven't lost in 11 League One games. 4-6. So I mean, there's a nice accum there. The actual fourfold pays 48-1. I mean, which is a pretty decent return.
Oh, blimey, all right. Weekend plans, James? What's Phil done on the road to? Are you in both days?
I am, yeah. I've just got back from Germany and then Hastings, so I've had a few days out of the office. But
Germany and Hastings. The last person to make that was in a sort of longboat, wasn't he? Coming to invade us from Saxony or somewhere. What were you doing in Germany?
Seeing friends.
Really?
Went to Hanover Zoo, actually.
Did you?
Which coincided with the North London derbies, rather frustrating. But
You watched the North London derby from Hanover Zoo?
No, I was looking at lions and elephant, rather cold
Arsenal
looking
season
lions.
ticket holder there.
Oh my goodness! What was the best animal?
There was quite a good old-fashioned sea lion show, which was
Chucking
sprats
into
in
their
a
mouths,
kind of a kitsch way, and then a massive eagle actually, which flew just over our heads.
I mean, unless you're going somewhere in the Far East, surely all zoos are the same. I mean, in Europe, they must just have the same animals.
Yeah, they are. The day after the World Cup final in South Africa, me and Alan Byrne were there, right? And we were in Pretoria. And Pretoria is not the kind of tourist part of South Africa, let's say. It was pretty grim, and we didn't really fancy hanging around in central Pretoria. So we went to the tourist office. Someone was like amazed to see tourists in there. And Alan's more cultured than me. He wanted to go to museums, and I was kiboshing it. So the only thing we could do that we thought was safe and we both fancied was Pretoria Zoo. So we spent all day there after the World Cup, and it was all right. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't the greatest zoo of all time. Mark, you got a busy weekend?
I'm in the office, so I'll be keeping James company. Yeah, in the office. And then TalkSport Tower Sunday evening.
Oh, are you? You and Danny Kelly?
Me and Danny Kelly from 9 till 12. But so me and James will just be watching the international football.
Oh, that'll be good, won't it? Yeah. I know you get on very well. Sean, what have you got up to this weekend?
I got work. I got punting. I got pizza on the cards now because the girlfriend's gone home for the weekend, and that's kind of on Planet Earth. I got to catch up on Planet Earth as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
That snake
thing with the snakes.
Animals are mad, like, aren't they?
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
It is, but the only thing... Have you seen this thing?
No.
So it was the latest David Attenborough thing, and it's this... What is it? It's not a mongoose. It's like a lizard or something, isn't it?
It's an iguana.
An iguana, that's it. And it's wandering around this kind of rocky terrain, isn't it? And all of a sudden, these serpents just come darting out of nowhere. Now, you do basically crap yourself when you see them, but they're actually quite poor quality snakes because they get hold of him at one point, don't they? There's 3 of them, and they're like entangling him. So, have you watched this yet, Sean?
I only saw that clip of because it went social
well, let's not give it away then. Let's not give it away. Okay, thank you very much, chaps. Excellent stuff, and we will be back tomorrow with the Racing Weekend Postcast, looking ahead to Cheltenham, which is very exciting, and we'll be back next Thursday for more football chat and hopefully some best bets.
The Football Postcast in association with Paddy Power, the place to bet on football in play with a huge special every weekend.